Hey guys, as I mentioned in a previous video, I am getting ready to sell the Bentley, and before I do, I want to get it in perfect working order. So I'm getting some maintenance items taken care of, some repair items taken care of. A lot of this stuff is going to be on the front end of the car. As some of you may know, the ball joints on these cars are notorious for failing just because the car is so heavy, so they go out kind of prematurely. I reached out to IntroCar and they sent me a lot of the front end parts. We're going to be putting that on the car today. Basically, I just want to get this car in perfect working order for when I list it for sale to make sure I get top dollar for it. If people have any suspicions that the car is in poor shape or wasn't well maintained, they're going to want to just knock you down the price. I've got my box here from IntroCar. Let's open it up and see what we've got inside. These are the Isolator Springs. Here are the lower ball joints. These are the upper ball joints. And these are the drop links. Alright, so we're going to take these parts up to my specialist and he's going to put them on for me and I will show you that process right now. A question that I've received a few times is where do I take my car for service, and fortunately I happen to live pretty close to a Bentley Rolls-Royce specialist. I'm in the Dallas area, and just north of Dallas in Louisville is a place called Precision Auto Works. The specialist who works there is Matt Garrett, and he is just an expert on these cars. He's worked at the Dallas Bentley Rolls-Royce dealership for over a decade. He has several decades of experience working on cars, so I take my car to him and it's just a really good asset to have. So this is not sponsored or anything, but I just wanted to let people know where I take my car. Alright, so we've got the car up on a lift here. Let's take a look. The wheel is off and I'm going to show you all the components that are just completely in need of repair on this car. I'm going to start down here at the lower ball joint, and as you can see, the rubber is cracked on this. That's going to get replaced. Swirl around here to the top and you can see the upper ball joint. This has even more stress and pressure on it. This thing is completely shot as well. It's even worse than the bottom one. Down here, this is the drop link that I'm looking at. You can see on this, the rubber is just smashed. It's in terrible condition, and this is just leading to a poor ride quality overall. So this is going to get replaced as part of this job as well. And finally, up at the top of the spring is the Isolator Spring, that little rubber component. And you can see this one's just squished like an ice cream sandwich. That's going to get replaced. That causes a lot of ride issues. So here's the upper ball joint again. We're going to start with this. We're going to remove that. The whole control arm comes out and that gets pressed out. I'll show you how that's done right here. And once that pops out, you can see that thing is just in terrible shape. Let me show you these parts side by side. Here's the new one on the left, the old one on the right. Obviously the rubber is completely off on this now. This is going to get replaced on both sides. Here's the lower ball joint removed. The ball joints on the bottom don't get quite as worn as the upper ball joints, but still the ones on my car definitely needed to be replaced. Drop link, just absolutely terrible condition. You can just see how shredded up it is, and you can see why this would affect the ride quality. I'm gonna get out of the shop now so they can put the car back together. I'll let them work and then I'll show you guys what this looks like when it's all put back together. Alright, let's start up here with the Isolator Spring. Here's the brand new one. You can see it looked way better than it did before. This is the old one, just completely mangled, and you can see that's going to make a huge difference. The upper control arm with the upper ball joint still needs to be put back in the car here, but let's go down to the bottom and look at the drop link. You can see here, it looks great. And over here, you can see the lower ball joint, and it's been replaced and obviously looks much better than that old one that was in there. It's not surprising that these parts wear out so quickly. This car is almost 6,000 pounds. The car has 450 horsepower, 645 foot-pounds of torque. You want to drive it spiritedly, but the car cannot escape the laws of physics. These parts are going to wear out quickly, but you do want to maintain this aspect of a car because it is so important to the Bentley ride experience. All right, just picked the car up from the shop, and this is the thing. I wish I had done this sooner. This is a service that had need to be completed on the car for a while, and now that I'm in it and I'm driving around, the car is so much smoother. The ride is so much softer. There's no occasional noises from the front because all that front end work has been taken care of, and everything just feels so tight and smooth right now. So it's unfortunate that I did this because I was getting close to selling the car, because now I can't enjoy what I just put into it. But I think I should be able to recoup a lot of the costs that went into getting this stuff taken care of. Hey guys, I'm back in the office now. Let's talk about the bill for that repair. Now, I knew going into this that it was gonna be a big job. Let's look at the parts. I showed you the prices in the beginning. All the parts added up to be $1,224 for this job. All the parts that I used for this job, with the exception of the Isolator Springs, were Prestige parts. That's the house brand for IntroCar. And essentially there's a little bit of savings to those parts, but that really wasn't my motivator. It was the fact that they have a better warranty and they're expected to last longer. On this particular job, where it's something that kind of wears out quickly on these cars, I did want something that was going to be a better product. IntroCar is doing a lot for the Bentley and Rolls-Royce community. They put a lot into research and development to bring new products to the market that are, in most cases, better than the original products. The fact is, especially on those older cars, when those parts were manufactured or developed, they were using older technology and older manufacturing methods. A lot of this new stuff is actually manufactured better and uses better materials. So I have no problem putting those parts on my car. If you are an owner of a Bentley or Rolls-Royce, check them out for parts. If you are a fan or a future owner, be sure to check out their YouTube or their Facebook. I know they occasionally do contests where they give away free hats for answering trivia questions and things like that. So check them out and thank them for supporting the Bentley and Rolls-Royce community. But going back to the bill, let's look at the labor cost. Now, this was a lot of work, I said, and it was in the shop for several days. So the total for the labor tax out the door for me was just at $3 grand. Now, I know that is a huge amount to pay, but in my opinion, it is definitely worth it because I'm taking it to a specialist. All they do is work on Rolls-Royce and Bentley cars all day. That's all they see. Yes, you could probably take this to another shop that does suspension work. I don't want to take that risk. So there's a peace of mind having it taken to a specialist where they know what they're doing. Also, I just trust Matt, and I know that he does a great job. He knows what he's talking about when he's working on these cars. I have all the confidence that that car is put together exactly how it needs to be. So there you have it, guys. $1,224 for the parts, $3 grand for labor. That's a $4,200 repair. I know that's big, but like I said, my goal is to recoup a lot of that in selling this car. You can go out right now and find a Bentley Arnage in a $20,000 or $30,000 price range, but when you get under the car and look at it, I guarantee you these parts are going to be shot. Also, if you are shopping for a car like this and you want to check out the condition, get underneath the car. The great thing about this is all these components that were replaced, you can visually inspect yourself. You don't have to put it up on a lift. You can crawl in a car with a flashlight and see it, or look through the wheel well. If you find a car that's crummy and all this stuff hasn't been done, yeah, you're going to find an Arnage for 30 grand, but you're going to have to put the 4 or 5 grand into it to get it up to speed. By the time you do that, and I'm sure there's other repairs, if the suspension was that bad, there's other repairs that need to be done. You might as well get a car that is ready to go. I wish I had done this repair, like I said, in the beginning so I could enjoy this, because the ride is so different, and I didn't even realize how bad the ride was until I had it all repaired. It's kind of like if you need glasses or you need to have your eyes checked out, and when you get glasses you can see clearly. That's how I feel about driving this car. This is how the car was meant to be driven. It was still good, but it wasn't in top shape. Now it is amazing, and the ride is so smooth. It makes such a big difference. So it's a very important part of that Bentley ride experience. Taking care of this is something that's absolutely critical when it comes to ownership on these cars. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're shopping for parts, I do encourage you to check out IntroCar. They have been very generous to me. So a huge thank you to IntroCar. And also, if you guys have any questions about this maintenance item, leave a comment below. I will try to address as many thoughtful comments as possible. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm gonna put up some more videos about a few more items on this car before it leaves my hands, sadly. So thanks for watching again, guys. I will see you in the next one.